So guys, in today's video we are talking about the exotic mission Rotator. Currently all of the missions have been rotated, so we've had the Presage exotic mission available on the first week, we then had Vox Obscura, and now today in this week we have Revision Zero's mission, Seraph Shields, now available to be played. From completing these missions you also get their associated exotic weapons, so for this week you get obviously Revision Zero. For Presage you would have gotten Dead Man's Tail, and for Vox Obscura you would have gotten your Dead Messenger. In this video we're going to be going through how you can actually gain access to these missions, with what you need to purchase and whatnot, as well as going through all the new perks and stuff that these weapons have access to, as well as how you can gain access to them yourselves within the missions as well. If you're going to enjoy, be sure to leave a like on the video, and of course subscribe if you haven't done so already, as it's free to do, and a lot of you guys who watch my content aren't actually subscribed, so if you could do that, I'd super appreciate it. Now I'll just jump into today's video. First off, let's first talk about how you can gain access to these missions and all the things that you can obtain within them. So if you owned the season that the missions came out in, you now have access to those missions once again once they're in rotation. If you didn't purchase the seasons that these missions were originally tied to, you'll need to go and purchase the DLCs that came out the same year as the seasons. So for Presage, you will need to acquire the Beyond Light DLC. For Vox Obscura, it will be the Witch Queen DLC, and for Operation Seraph Shields, it will also be the Witch Queen DLC. Within each of these missions, first we'll talk about Seraph Shields, since it's the one that is available this week. You'll be able to get the Revision Zero Pulse Rifle, alongside the seasonal weapons from Season of the Seraph, and the Ichilus weapons from Season of the Seraph, as well as the Warminds Avatar Armor set. Next week there will be Presage returning, so you'll be able to get the Dead Man's Tail exotic scout rifle. You'll also be able to get Season of the Haunted seasonal weapons, as well as the opulent weapons that were also available that season, alongside the Eidolon Pursuant armor set. And then the week after that, when Vox Obscura returns in the rotation, you'll be able to get the Dead Messenger grenade launcher. You'll be able to get the Season of the Risen seasonal weapons, as well as the Tusk Allegiance armor set. Now let's go and talk about each of these exotic weapons more in detail. First, let's talk about Revision Zero, because it is available this week. So upon completing the exotic mission, you will of course get access to this weapon via crafting. Main trait here is called Hunter's Trace. This weapon fires shield piercing ammunition. Precision hits grant targeting data. Long press to swap to alternative scope, loading high damage rounds based on the amount of targeting data acquired, and it's strong against anti-barrier champions. The next major perks that it has are its catalysts, so you can either get the Frenzy refit, which will give it Feeding Frenzy, the Pressurized refit, which will give it Under Pressure, the Outlaw refit, which will grant it Outlaw, or 4th times the Charm refit to give it 4th times the Charm. In terms of actual perks, you've got Moving Target, Eye of the Storm, Perpetual Motion, Elemental Capacitor, Slick Draw, and Vorpal Weapon. Stocks and magazines here are also available. So if you want to gain this weapon, you now can within the game this week. Next week we have Presage returning, so you'll be able to get the Dead Man's Tail here. This weapon is now available to be crafted, which is great. So for the first column of traits here, you can get Outlaw, 4th times the Charm, Compulsive Reloader, Killing Wind, Moving Target, Vorpal Weapon, Shoot to Loot, or Rapid Hit. Its main trait being Cranial Spike, where chaining precision hits grants bonus target acquisition and range. And then you've also got its other trait here called Dark Forged Trigger, where removes hip fire accuracy penalties and increases rate of fire from hip. Stacks of Cranial Spike increase hip fire rate of fire further. Very interesting weapon there, so if you want to gain that, you'll have to wait till next week when it returns into the rotation. Finally, we have from Vox Obscura the Dead Messenger grenade launcher. And this one actually did get some additions, with it now being able to be crafted, so it's intrinsic. Is the same one-shot handed grenade launcher. Projectiles release a fan of free energy waves on contact with the ground. It also has the fundamentals, where you long press to change this weapon's damage type, but now you can either give it Fresh, Unrelenting, or Demolitionist, which is very nice indeed. Also has a catalyst called Turnabout. Using this weapon to break a shield of a combatant or a guardian using their super will grant you an overshield, which is very nice there. And that is it for all of the weapons and stuff that you can obtain via these missions, as well as how you can gain access to them. That's it for this video. So if you've found it at all helpful or interesting, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But that's it for now, so I'll see you guys in the next one.